Welcome to the RAOB program's Sounding Diagram Options, Pressure and Temperature tab. All features shown are available to the RAOB Basic program unless otherwise indicated. This video only discusses the Pressure and Temperature tab. All diagram options have been turned off to better illustrate how they work. This panel offers a variety of scaling options, both manual and automatic. The top panel controls the y-axis for pressure and heights, while the bottom panel controls the x-axis for temperature. Let's first look at the upper section and the pressure and height scale options. RAOB is initially set to automatically adjust the y-axis with these two auto-select settings. You can manually select specific pressure limits using these control boxes. The most common manual adjustment is to lower the upper limit to gain a better view of the lower troposphere. The upper threshold limit of the RAOB Basic program is 100 millibars, but you can go as high as 1 millibar with the optional High Altitude module. For example, just click on the up-down buttons to select the desired upper level. In this case, we'll select 500 millibars. Then select on the Apply button to see the changes. The y-axis upper limit is now set to 500 millibar, and the respective auto-select function has been turned off. You can also adjust the lower boundary in the same manner. Let's set the lower limit to 900 millibar as the new base level. Now again click the Apply button to see the changes. You can quickly reset the upper and lower limits by selecting the respective auto-select options, and then the Apply button. Now let's look at the y-axis grid options, where the millibars option is the current default setting. You can also use kilometers, feet, and even statute miles. But we'll return back to the millibar setting because it is the most common vertical scale. For those needing greater grid resolution, the interval setting can be changed to the 10 millibar mode, where the 10 millibar grid lines are drawn in a lighter gray. But for now, we'll return to the automatic grid interval to reduce diagram clutter. Moving down the panel, we'll look at the y-axis or temperature scale options. Using the grid options, you can switch from the current Celsius scale to the alternate Fahrenheit scale. And if you want to see both scales at the same time, just select the dual scale option. Now switching back to the primary Celsius scale, the dual scales are flipped, with the Celsius scale at the top. So let's turn off the dual scale, and now look at the interval scale, which functions in the same manner as does the y-axis or pressure interval scale. By selecting the 1 degree interval, a finer resolution temperature grid is drawn in lighter gray. Before moving on, let's return to the standard 10 degree interval to reduce clutter. Now we'll look at the last set of options, scaling, where the automatic mode is the current setting. By selecting the manual mode, two new boxes of scaling options become active, one each for the minimum and maximum temperature limits. The default temperature range is from -30 to +30. But let's change it from -20 to +20. Now using the Apply button, the temperature grid is rescaled. Before ending this video, you should know that most of the scaling options on this panel are not available when using the tephrogram diagram. This becomes evident as we switch to the Format tab and then change from the Skew T to the tephrogram option. Upon returning to the Pressure and Temperature tab, you can see that only the interval options remain. This is because the tephrogram is only designed for one grid configuration. Note that these restrictions also apply to the height and temperature lines tabs, which are described in another video. That completes the Sounding Diagrams Pressure and Temperature tab video. Thank you for watching.